And one A's hitter has broke out in a big way. Hideki Matsui's bat awoke on the road as he launched his 500th career home run and then put on a show in the Bronx, going 7 for 13 at the stadium over the weekend. Tonight, Oakland returns home to the O.Co to open up a 7-game homestand and close out the month of July. It's the A's and the Rays, Game 1, next. Well, the A's are back home at the O.Co Coliseum to open up a 7-game homestand tonight as B.J. Upton and the Tampa Bay Rays in town. A lot of trade rumors surrounding B.J. Upton. How long will he remain with the Rays? And Guillermo Moscoso will make the start this evening for the Athletics. So it's the first of a 4-game series from the Coliseum. It's the Rays and the Athletics coming up on Comcast Sportsnet, California. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Oakland A's baseball. Along with Ray Fosse, I'm Glenn Kuiper. The A's went 2-3 on the road trip, but one of the good things, Ray, was the offense. Guys really swung the bats well. Nobody better than Hideki Matsui.
Now, they talk about him being a second-half player. Last year with the Angels, did a tremendous job for the Angels in the second half of the season. The A's said, is that going to happen this year with their ball club? And it started really in Detroit. He got his 500th off the foul pole, carried him into the stands. We don't know if he's ever received that ball or not. He doesn't really care. This was 501 in New York against his former team. Had a great weekend, and in the rain yesterday a little bit, picked up 5 hits. Second time in his career he's done that in U.S. baseball. So Hideki Matsui, and I still think the biggest thing since Bob Melvin took over as manager, he's shown the confidence of Matsui, hitting 3rd or 4th in the A's lineup, playing left field sometime, but he's in the lineup every time.
Now the Rays have a very fine young starting rotation, and tonight it's the rookie Jeremy Hellickson on the mound.
Well, this young man has stepped in the rotation. Their rotation's so good they probably have 6 guys. This guy right over the top. The A's faced him last year. He had a chance to win the ball game. He left before he could qualify, but a very good pitcher, especially with a good fastball, good breaking pitch, right over the top. Sometimes a little difficult to pick up, but just one of 6 very good starters for the Rays.
And it's going to be an interesting week for the Rays. They're trying to decide whether they're still in this thing. Are they going to be buyers or are they going to be sellers with the trade deadline coming up? So the first of 4, it's the A's and the Rays from the O.Co. We'll have lineups and first pitch when we come back.
on Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by AT&T and by Toyota. Check out the great deals at your local Toyota dealer today.
Well, the A's behind their starting pitcher, Guillermo Moscoso, just about set to take the field. Alternate gold jerseys, the uniform of choice tonight as the A's open up this 4-game series against the Rays. Game time weather. It's brought to you by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is now open daily. Ray, I've been waiting to read this.
Yeah, what is the temperature?
63 degrees.
Beautiful.
So it's a beautiful night for baseball. Not a cloud in the sky. A light breeze and nice and cool. The American League Player of the Week is that man, Hideki Matsui. He was terrific on the road trip. He's going to be in left field tonight. So Matsui heating up. The Rays, let's check out their lineup for game 1 of this series. Looks like this. Desmond Jennings, their top position prospect, is now in the big leagues. He's in left field. Johnny Damon, the DH. Zobrist at second. Longoria at third. All-star Matt Joyce in right. B.J. Upton in center. Casey Kochman at first. Kelly Shopik is the catcher. And Sean Rodriguez will play shortstop.
It will be right-hander Guillermo Moscoso, coming off really his worst start since joining the A's rotation. That was in Detroit in his last start. Did not pitch out of the 5th inning. Gave up 6 earned runs and really was not the Moscoso we have seen in this season. So back in the rotation, because that time too is his first start since the All-Star break. He was not with the ball club, optioned down to AAA for 1 start, so maybe that affected him a little bit. But back here in Oakland, wearing the alternate gold jerseys and trying to get the A's off on the right foot in a 7-game homestand.
The defense behind Moscoso has Matsui in left, Crisp in center, DeJesus in right, Sizemore, Pennington, Weeks, Jackson around the infield, and Kurt Suzuki behind the plate. So Moscoso has finished up his warm-up tosses. Joe Madden, the manager of the Rays. And the Rays, it's going to be an interesting week for them as they decide whether they are still in it, meaning the postseason hunt, or they're not. Talk about that AL East tonight.
Well, Joe Madden was saying that he thinks his ball club still has a nice run in themselves, so they're not giving up. They feel they have some time left, and even though they're in a very tough division.
So the first pitch of the ball game in for a strike from Moscoso to Desmond Jennings. Jennings in left field. We've been hearing this young man's name the last couple years. Top prospect.
When he runs, you know exactly what he's capable of doing. So Mike Trout, we've seen Borges, and we see this young man can fly.
Jennings was up just a little bit last year for the Rays. Now back in the big leagues this year after a good run in AAA. So he may get a chance to play for the Rays. Final couple of months. This one's popped up. Connor Jackson comes down the line. He's got it, and that's the first out of the ball game.
Well, the last start for Moscoso before the All-Star break was against the Seattle Mariners. 7 shutout innings against a ball club that had not scored a lot of runs in the season, but Moscoso had everything working, and that last one was a strikeout. His last in the 7 innings in combined shutout for Moscoso.
First pitch to Johnny Damon in first strike. Johnny Damon is the DH. 9 home runs, 44 runs batted in for Damon.
Johnny Damon might have found a home for the remainder of his career. Kansas City, Oakland, Boston, Yankees, now Tampa Bay. Going for 3,000 hits, and he'll probably have enough time to do it.
So that's out number 2. So the Rays come in with a 53-47 record. This is a 10-game trip for them. They lost 2 out of 3 in Kansas City. Now here in Oakland, and then they will finish in Seattle. So they're going to be on the road for a while. So 6 games over the 500 mark.
See how their staff They're wearing sweatshirts. I think they were doing that yesterday in Kansas City.
They were doing it like we were doing it.
Exactly.
So here's Ben Zobrist, who takes a fastball first strike. So here's your decision for the Rays. They're 9.5 back in the AL East, so that's going to be a tough chore there. So you got to look at the wild card where they're 6.5 back, and the Angels in the mix there as well. So they have some players that other teams would certainly want. So obviously the East will be difficult, but the wild card still a legitimate opportunity there. 6.5 back of the Yankees, who lead that wild card.
And you know they're going to do whatever they have to do to get to postseason.
Yep.
Whether it's wild card or the division leader.
2-1 to Zobrist, hitting .271, and he rips one to right. That's deep. DeJesus spinning around, and that baby is gone. They're signaling home run, so Zobrist has given the Rays a 1-0 lead. His 12th home run of the year.
Well, some great pitches to Jennings and Damon, but to Zobrist, a 2-1 fastball, and he crushed it. A little bit towards the outside part of the plate, but the difference there is Bell Times did him down around the knees and just over the line, designating a home run. David DeJesus smartly playing the ball back in with Karam off the wall, but clearly a home run.
Hit up on that porch up there right above the out-of-town scoreboard. There's a porch that's maybe 4 or 5 feet wide. So here's Longoria. Longoria got a fastball to hit, fouls it back. So that's the 8th home run Moscoso has given up this year in 55 innings. A couple in his last start. "13 homers, 50 runs batted in for Evan Longoria with a .242 average. Missed again, 3-1.
Trying to stay away from these hitters, especially as part of the batting order. The most home runs for the Rays in this part of the order. Starting with Zobrist, Longoria, Joyce, and Upton.
So Longoria with the walk, and here comes the left-handed hitting Matt Joyce.
Right fielder, number 20, Matt Joyce.
So good year for Joyce. He has cooled off some. He was leading the league in hitting for a while, and he made the All-Star team. But the average just settled in at .285. A fastball on the inside corner, called a strike. Chad Fairchild is the home plate umpire tonight. There's Fairchild. Joe West, the crew chief, at first. Sam Holbrook at second. Paul Schreiber at third.
Usually when Moscoso pitches, Fairchild's at third. It's been some
That's right.
Close plays. The Orioles game. It's amazing how they just keep popping up.
Jamal Weeks ranging to his left, throws on the run, side retired, home run by Ben Zobrist. So the Rays have a 1-0 lead after half an inning. about a half hour ago. Starting lineup for the Athletics: Weeks, Crisp, Matsui, Willingham, DeJesus, Jackson, Sizemore, Suzuki, and Pennington. That's your Oakland A's starting lineup for tonight.
Well, one of the very good starters, Jeremy Hellickson's on the mound for the Tampa Bay Rays, 9-7 record. They're trying to limit his innings pitched, maybe 170, 180 on the season. He had his normal time in between starts, but he is a young man who, no doubt, the Rays are very high on.
So Hellickson to face Weeks. Hellickson's first pitch is in for a strike. Weeks hitting .316, no home runs, and 14 runs batted in. Six hits in that series at Yankee Stadium. So I don't see Jamal Weeks being intimidated by a whole lot, and he certainly wasn't by playing at Yankee Stadium.
I think he likes the big stage. I think he enjoyed being with his brother Ricky at the All-Star game, figuring that this is my rookie season. Maybe in the future we'll be there as one of the National League All-Stars. He's got a chance. He's very good. Seems like every time we see a team, everybody wants to know, how's Jamal Weeks? Said you're going to like him, man. I think everybody who has seen him definitely likes his style of play. Kind of the igniter on this club.
So 3-1 the count. Crisp will be next, and then Matsui here in the bottom of the first. Ben Zobrist with a 2-out solo home run in the top of the first for the Rays run.
Little things right there. Zobrist playing second base for Joe Madden, but 3-1. Jamal Weeks saying, "I'll make you throw a couple of strikes." Through the 1-3-1. See what happens here.
And Weeks fouls it off.
Hellickson, a three-pitch pitcher basically. Fastball, curveball, and changeup. Fastball low 90s as we've already seen, but pretty straight. American League Player of the Week, and Hideki Matsui waiting for his at bat.
This one skied to left field. Jennings is there, and that's out number one. Let's look at the Rays defense for tonight. You see Jennings in left field, B.J. Upton in center, Joyce in right, Longoria, Rodriguez, Zobrist, Kochman third to first. Kelly Shopik is the catcher. There's Coco Crisp. Coco was 4 for 9 in the series in New York over the weekend. He's got a little 5-game hitting streak. 9 hits in his last 22 at bats. So the average up to 270 for Crisp. Quick 0-2 from Hellickson. Hellickson made 4 starts and 6 relief appearances last year when he got to the big leagues. He went 4-0. Had a good ERA, 3.47.
Well, you think the Rays don't have some bargaining chips?
Big time.
They've got some guys, and youngsters at the minor league level that they can bring up as well.
That one's lofted toward Upton, who got a good jump, and he makes the catch.
Another American League Player of the Week, Hideki Matsui. He's getting ready for his first at bat. We show you a 5-hit day yesterday at Yankee Stadium. Bartolo Colon, a couple of those hits early, and he just kept hitting, and is very aggressive early in the count. He did not see a lot of pitches, and this one with the rain coming, and the last one a ball to right field, scoring a run. So Hideki Matsui, a very strong week, giving him the honor of American League Player of the Week, and especially over the weekend at Yankee Stadium. Thought it was great. He said, "It took about a month to get my 500th home run in just 2 days to get the 501st.
Well, for the week, which was 5 games for the A's. He was 12 for 21 with 2 doubles, 2 home runs. And those are the numbers since the All-Star break. So it's good to see Hideki Matsui really hitting the way the A's had hoped he would hit. 8 home runs and 45 runs batted in now for Matsui, who's in left field tonight.
I think that's the biggest plus for Matsui, getting a chance to play in the outfield. And as a player in Japan and coming to the U.S., an outfielder before he had knee problems. Bob Melvin, when he took over, said, you're going to be in my 3rd or 4th spot in the batting order, 3rd tonight, with Willingham hitting 4th. But he wants to get him in the outfield maybe at least once a week.
You know, watching him play, Ray, this is not, I'm not talking about trading Matsui. That's not my point, but he could play in the National League.
Yeah, exactly. He is.
And watching him play this year in the outfield, he could play probably close to every day in the National League.
That's a great point, because that's something that really helps if you're a team looking for help the last couple of months of the season. You don't want to get a one-dimensional player. Maybe last year that's all he was with the Angels, but again, a credit to Bob Melvin for putting him in the outfield and showing the confidence that he could play. And he has not disappointed anybody. He's played very well in left field, giving Josh Willingham a chance just to DH.
3-2 pitch is low, and there's the 2-out walk to Matsui.
Amazing how a pitcher can go through top of the batting order, go through the first 2 hitters. Moscoso did it and gave up a home run, and Weeks and Chris fly ball outs, and then 3-2 walk to the 3rd place hitter. Maybe that's why they put the best hitter in the 3rd spot in the batting order. Makes the pitcher panic. He's thinking about pitching to him.
That's my theory, Ray. It's hard to retire 3 batters in a row at the big league level.
Well, Dallas Braden would not have a problem with that. He retired 27 in a row. Yeah.
First pitch strike to Josh Willingham. 13 homers, 50 RBIs for Willingham. Those are both leading the team in that category. In those 2 categories, I should say. Hellickson is 24 years old. He's from Des Moines, Iowa. Signed out of high school by the Rays. That's low. Hellickson was the 4th round pick in 2005. And he is considered a rookie this year. Named his dog Jeter after Derek Jeter. But he spent 5.5 years in the minor leagues for the Rays. And again, he signed out of high school. And his minor league record was 49-16. So he was doing something right down there. It got him to the big leagues. So an Iowa kid, just like Ryan Sweeney. And 3-1 pitch, just a bit outside, back-to-back walks.
I wonder if he knows where Newton, Iowa is. It was 129 with heat index.
Was it really?
Yes, it was.
Newton, Iowa.
Newton, Iowa. You know where it is?
I don't. I bet it's a very, very small town. Well, there's a lot of those.
Brad Pitty said he's got a ranch in Iowa, and he had no clue where it was. So I don't know. I have to ask Ryan Sweeney. But I was watching the news and then talk about all the heat through the Midwest, and Newton, Iowa was the tops at 129. Little farmland flooded that they said they couldn't get, a lot of the flood rains from the off-season, the winter time, and created a lot of humidity. Not a meteorologist, but that's what they were saying.
You're close, though, and it's good. We get our information from you.
What if Bert Blyleven newest Hall of Fame member, is doing the game in Texas for the Twins tonight. I hope he took the night off.
Yeah, he doesn't deserve that.
22 hits for the Rangers, leading 18-1
in the 6th inning.
Yeah. Burt might be pitching. With that, they may bring him out of the booth.
This was how the game ended yesterday, and Jesus with the bases loaded.
Cut fastball that Mariano Rivera throws. Did you hear that? New York, New York. Always hear New York, New York. In New York, when the Yankees play, win or lose. No cutters from this guy, just hard right over the top fastball.
Down the left field line, into the seats. Right to the hands of that fan, and now he's got to go to work for it. So 0-2 today. Jesus hitting .228 with 5 homers and 25 runs batted in. He was 3 for 14 in the series over the weekend. Six pitches here in the first inning by Hellickson. Now right field, Joyce on the move. He's going to get there. He's got it. Side retire. A strand of pair. We've played one from the Coliseum. 1-0 Rays. Second inning, B.J. Upton to lead it off, followed by Casey Kochman, and then Kelly Shopik. First pitch strike to Upton. There's a shot off of Sizemore's glove to Pennington, who barehands and throws in time. Pennington barehanded it and then gunned it to first to get a fast runner in B.J. Upton.
Boy, it could not have gone more perfectly off the glove of Sizemore, and Pennington set himself up perfectly as he got ready to handle the ball barehanded. Watch him turn to his side so he's ready to throw. First of all, the reaction going over there, and then a step and perfect throw, very hard throw, right on the money across the diamond, getting the very fast runner in Upton.
So here's Casey Kochman. Seen Casey Kochman bounce around quite a bit as of late, meaning the last 2 or 3 years. But look at his batting average, and it's the 4th best in the American League. How about that?
He's got enough at bats to qualify, and of course, all you have to do is remember opening night last year. It was all about him.
And he loops one down the left field line for a hit. So Kochman getting a chance to play every day for the Rays, and he's doing a very nice job. Raise the average a little bit. So here's Kelly Shopping.
He just fought it off. Pitch inside out swing, and all those jam hits make up for the line drives right at him.
Shopping hitting 179, 5 home runs. Hit hard but foul, bounces off the tarp. Mentioned the Rays record. The A's are 44-57, so this is game number 102 for the Athletics, and they're 26-22 at home. The A's have crept ahead of the struggling, and I mean struggling, Seattle Mariners coming into tonight's action. Seattle has lost 15 in a row, and they're on their way to making it 16. They're losing 8-1 to the Yankees in New York.
New York.
It was 3-1 not long ago. Now it's 8-1. So it is a full nosedive for the Seattle Mariners. So they are now in last place.
It's right above that, the Cleveland score beating the Angels, which with the Rangers winning, that does not help the Angels from Anaheim.
Tribe got a walk-off.
I thought I heard Tom Hamilton.
From here?
Broadcaster. He's good.
So that's updated with the Angels losing 3-2 to the Indians in Cleveland. Ray mentioned the Rangers, who are winning 18-1 in the 6th inning. 18-1. I think their hit total is now 23. 23 hits in 6 innings. Two and two the count to Kelly Shopping. 1 out here in the 2nd. Sean Rodriguez is in the on-deck circle. Shopping rips one. It's going to be foul. Home run distance. Moscoso goes for a little walk. Short lead for Kochman at first. Back to Moscoso, spins, throws to Pennington, and that's a double play. 1-6-3 on the double play, and the Rays do not score.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time.
with a home run, outstanding double play turn on our Ford right choice, a 1-6-3 double play. Moscoso, a perfect feed to Cliff Pennington, set himself up to continue the relay to first. This is the way you're supposed to do it. Lead the shortstop, throw it right to the bag, and that's exactly what Moscoso did to Pennington, and then the first base for the double play. The way it's supposed to be done.
I like Cliff Pennington. He's not afraid to show off the arm.
He did it twice in the inning with him off of Sizemore's glove. Made it look easy.
Connor Jackson leading it off. He'll be followed by Sizemore and Suzuki here in the bottom of the second inning. Breaking ball is outside. Ellickson threw 27 pitches in that first inning. He walked a couple batters. He just could not get the 2-out hit.
That's still pretty good philosophy to make a pitcher throw strikes, and sometimes if you can get to the bullpen earlier than expected, especially since they're really going to monitor this young man and his pitch count and his innings, and something very important for the young pitchers to not be pushed, not be rushed.
There's a line drive, and that's a base hit for Connor Jackson. First hit for the A's.
If you get a fastball up in the zone like that, you would be lucky if it's just a base hit. Ellickson got the fastball up to Connor Jackson and tailed a little bit right towards the middle of the plate. A belt high and a very hittable pitch. Nice follow through by Jackson.
So here's Sizemore. A's have their leadoff man aboard here in the bottom of the second. Fastball with a little tail on it. In first strike to Sizemore. 242 with 4 home runs and 20 runs batted in. Sizemore 3 for his last 33. Swing and miss. So 0-2.
Those 3 hits, one of them was a bunt base hit to end an 0 for 18, and then the home run. Helped the A's win a game, but a base hit that is to right center. They doing the roll call here? Is that a roll call?
Somebody's doing it. Don't know where it's coming from.
I don't either.
They may start yelling our name here in a minute. So Sizemore hanging in there behind in the count 1-2. Suzuki waiting in the on-deck circle.
Well, the A's know the Tampa Bay Rays are playing better away from Tropicana Field. Have a sub-500 record at home. Been talking about stadium issues down in the Florida area. Their Bay Area, their area known as the Bay Area.
The fastball, and Sizemore swings and misses, so that's Strikeout number 1 for Hellickson. A's Baseball on Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by Wendy's. You know when it's real.
Number 8, catcher, Kurt Suzuki.
Beautiful look at downtown Oakland on a nice night at the Coliseum. So here's Kurt Suzuki, 227 with 7 home runs and 24 runs batted in for Kurt. Fastball is inside. Couple of hits in the series in New York for Kurt Suzuki. Played in 2 of the 3 games. Did not play on Saturday. Asked Landon Powell Sunday morning about the weather conditions he caught on Saturday, the day game. He said, yeah, it was hot. He said he hung in there. He also said, when you get out on the bases a little bit, it's a little different than, he said, at home plate, it's just, there's no breeze or nothing right there. He said you can really feel the difference.
Plus, he wasn't running the bases with his catching gear.
Well, that's right.
Makes a big difference, because that, as the home plate umpires who worked in the series did not work the next day, got the day off. And as Landon also said, he was more nervous, and as a result, it was hotter in Detroit playing first base than he was catching Saturday, simply because he was a little bit more relaxed knowing what he was going to be doing behind the plate. And that's one of the problems. You go to another position, the comfort level changes everything. Steve Lucien said his jersey in Detroit weighed about 5 pounds when he took it off and changed jerseys. So hot. But not tonight. This is beautiful weather here. That's why there's teams that play in the very hot weather, as the A's did in New York and the Rays in Kansas City yesterday. Enjoy tonight.
Fastball, swing and a miss. They'll throw down to first, but Jackson gets back with back-to-back strikeouts.
In the Dodge Charger keys to the game for the Rays, the last of 14 American League teams the A's have not seen. 102nd game for the Athletics, and they finally see the Rays. Whether or not it might not be hot, bats of the Athletics are. The A's swinging the bat well, especially that man Hideki Matsui. They were so afraid of him they walked him tonight after 5 hits yesterday. So far in this inning, walked our base hit to Jackson, a high fastball, but Sizemore and Suzuki not able to hit the same fastball that Jackson did. Up in the zone, but thrown past the last 2 hitters.
Pennington takes a fastball for a strike. Pennington, another guy who had a good series in New York. He was 5 for 13. A homer, a double, 4 RBIs. Scored a couple of runs. So he's been swinging the bat very well. This one hit well to right. Joyce going back, and this baby is gone. A's lead 2-1.
We talked about Matsui. We forgot to talk about Cliff Pennington, because he has been swinging the bat very well since the All-Star break, and especially this past road trip. Detroit, New York, the home run New York Friday night. And tonight they try to go inside with a fastball, but he beat him. Turned on it very quickly, and a very short stride, very quick stroke, and Cliff Pennington. Some outstanding plays defensively in the top half of the inning. Then he caps it with a 2-run home run in the bottom half. And that quickly the A's take the lead with a 2-out, 2-run home run.
Top of the order, and Jemile Weeks.
Well, maybe he saw enough of the fastballs that Jackson, Sizemore, and Suzuki saw in this inning, but he just simply reacted on it. Trusted his hands with a fastball inside and turned on it perfectly.
Weeks hit a fly ball to left field in the first inning. See if there's a play on this one. Longoria. Now he's going to head over, back up a little bit, make the catch. Side retired. Pennington with a 2-run homer, and the A's lead 2-1 after 2.
We're from the same area.
Okay.
From 5 minutes away.
Yeah,
we knew each other growing up before
Gotcha.
college.
Okay.
He was 2 years before me.
Coliseum, and our special guest is A's first-round draft pick Sonny Gray, who signed, sealed, delivered. So you are an Oakland A. Sonny, congratulations.
Thank you very much. I'm excited to be here. Looking forward to this day for a long time, and
I bet you have been.
glad things got worked out today. Couldn't be more happy.
So Sonny Gray, right-handed pitcher from Vanderbilt. So a big day for yourself, obviously, but big day for your family. Everybody's here. So tell us how the day has gone.
It started pretty early. We were back on Central Time, so woke up about 6 o'clock here. Sam, he came and picked me up from the hotel, and we went, got a physical, and did all that, and went and ate some pizza for lunch in between the MRI and the X-ray. So got all that done.
He loves pizza, so he's smiling because when you said pizza,
Take me along.
Next time, if I'd known, should have brought some up here.
So when did you get to the ballpark?
Got to the park around 2:30.
Okay.
And waiting on my parents. My mom and 2 sisters flew in today, so they got here around probably 3:30, and then they came. We got the deal done around 3:45, and
You put a uni on.
And went out there and signed the deal. Signed the deal and went out and stretched and threw a little bit and did some media, and that was it. And like I told you, I'm extremely happy today.
Were you a little bit more relaxed down there than up here?
Down there was nerve-wracking. I didn't know who to throw with. Other than that, it was good.
I saw you down there, and David Price, a terrific pitcher from the Rays, came over, and you guys hugged each other. So you guys go back a long, long ways. Not only did you just go to the same university.
Right. He's from Murfreesboro, and I'm from Smyrna, Tennessee, and that's 5 minutes apart from each other. So he's had a big influence on me going to Vandy and staying close, and now starting my professional career. He's continued to, be a big influence on me. Talked to him last night in the hotel. We're staying in the same hotel, as the Rays. So you know, he's a great guy, and he's a good person that I can talk to.
So he was you guys obviously weren't in college together. He's a little bit older than you are.
And he's not old.
He's not old.
Yeah, he's not old.
Good pitcher, though. Did you think, and as you were getting close to the draft, think the A's were going to be drafting you? Or did you
Honestly,
know?
I didn't think so at all. Once it came down to it, I thought maybe I was going to go 19 to the Red Sox. Once it got there, didn't really think the A's, but you know, once they did, I was extremely happy that they were able to that they gave me the opportunity to come. So didn't think it was going to happen, but you know, extremely glad it did.
Well, Desmond Jennings with the double off the wall, and Sean Rodriguez just kept on running, so he scores, and this game is tied at 2.
Well, that quickly, the A's 2-1 lead leaves, and Moscoso, like Hellickson, getting the fastball up, and that's danger sign. This one almost out, very close to being out. Surprise, Jennings stopped at second, as he has speed, but did not live up to the fastball. What do you throw, by the way, Sonny? Give us an idea of your pitches and velocity.
Fastball is normally probably around 92, 95. Can get it up there every now and then. You know, then I throw a curveball, which has been a really good pitch for me. You know, throughout college, high school, it's always been a good pitch. And then a changeup and a cutter. So I started throwing a cutter second half of this year at Vandy, and it really was able to get some quick outs. So that's basically it. Is the 4 pitches there, and basically, I mean, big pitch though. I can throw that curveball, and in the past it's worked out pretty well for me. So.
We're talking with Sonny Gray, the A's first-round draft pick this year, who signed his contract today. So what's the next step? You going to hang around for a couple days, or where are you headed?
I wish I could stay around here a little bit longer, but tomorrow morning, 10:30, and flight leaves for Arizona.
Okay.
So I'll go out to Phoenix for probably 10 days or so, and start throwing and getting back in shape a little bit. Throwing shape, that is. Maybe throw a few bullpens, probably 2 or 3, and off the mound maybe hit some hitters, and then head out to Midland.
Okay.
Going to Midland.
Wow.
Hopefully get out there around August 5th or something, and then finish the season out there.
So Double A, huh?
Yeah, yes, sir. That was actually a big reason. We came and we thought it was a good situation. The A's organization thought Double A was a good fit.
Wow,
so
that's great.
That's great.
So we jumped on it and I'm going to get out there and start throwing some baseballs.
By the way, you will not need this long sleeve in Arizona.
I heard that.
Or Midland.
I got off the flight last night about 10, came off, and I was wearing flip-flop shorts and a short sleeve T-shirt and about froze. But
well, you could have been with us in New York. That would have worked perfectly there. Or
Absolutely.
Detroit.
I heard it was hot.
It was
not
hot.
here. That's beautiful weather here.
It's perfect, man. This city's been great. I love, bad thing about it, I got to drive around the whole thing today, going to doing all the physical, but it was a beautiful city, really beautiful.
And with the physical, I know that everybody has to do it. What kind of physical do you go through? Obviously, in pretty physically good shape to be able to sign, but is that, I know it's customary, but what do they put you through?
This morning, about 8:30, went over and did the MRI, did an elbow, shoulder, and a right ankle. Then after that, that really what took so long. The woman kept yelling at me because I was moving a little too much, but my left arm went to sleep one time, and
MRIs are no fun.
especially when I was sitting like this
man.
for 30 minutes.
So you're drafted. Do you think now you've got to go through all this, or are you just going to sign your contract and start playing?
Well, personally, I thought I was going to sign and start playing, but we had to do little things for that eventually to happen. But you got to go through that to be a part of this, and I'd do it any day of the week. So. Wasn't too bad.
How many games did you start at Vanderbilt?
I'm going to say 17, probably 16 or 17.
Now, a lot of people say in college there are times that pitchers get worn out. You pitch, they don't count pitches. And how about yourself? Were you, I guess, monitored in a sense where you were not overworked, to where you can now pitch for the A's organization?
Oh, absolutely.
Not be a problem?
That's the thing about Vanderbilt is, it's just a great place. Yeah. Great pitching, great foundation them coaches have set out there, and they really monitor, they really keep care of the pitcher's arms, as well as everyone. So they really do a great job. And I've said this today, you know, I wouldn't trade those 3 years at Vandy for the world. I learned so much there.
That's good.
That, you know, I think it's going to, you know, it's going to benefit me, you know, in Arizona and then going to AA. It's going to be, it's going to be huge that I was able to get out there at Vandy. So, you know, I'm just, I think I'll be in perfect shape. You know, I'm feeling good. I started throwing about a week and a half ago. So, yeah, I'm ready to get to Arizona tomorrow and start chunking again.
And when you get off that plane, you'll think about where you got off the plane here. But
I guarantee, like you said, I won't be wearing this thing.
No, that's good.
We were somewhere this year. I don't remember what road trip we were on, but I flipped the TV on, and the College World Series was coming on. I said, well, I'm going to watch, and it was you pitching against Florida.
Yeah.
It was Vanderbilt and Florida, and it may have been an elimination game. I'm not exactly
you're right.
sure.
It was.
And I'm thinking, well, I hope our #1 pick is pitching, and you were. So I sat there for an hour and I watched. It was great.
Thank you, man. It was Omaha.
Unfortunately, I think you guys lost the game. Did you?
It was a good game, but we did end up losing. But the experiences we made in Omaha were great. So it was a good time.
So you got 3 years of college. You played in the College World Series.
I did.
You're sitting here as a #1 draft choice. What are your projections as far as when you think you'll be back here on the mound?
You know, hopefully as soon as possible.
Well, of course.
I mean,
but give me a date. Give us a date. We're sitting here.
I don't know. Hopefully things will work out. You know, this fall in Midland and
just take your time
and whatnot. Just hopefully I can get up here as soon as possible and and help the organization. You know, but if I need to stay for a year, 2 years, or whatever they think, it'll be fine with me as long as hopefully sooner rather than later. Start pitching in front of these fans.
The August 15th date we've heard is now one of the new dates that you can't keep going on. How much did that play into? Of course, you wanted to sign. I'm sure you want to get everything done, but to get signed and be able to play some this year, as we were talking before, you will get some playing time. How important is that for you this summer to pitch professionally?
That was very important. From the advice that we've gotten from some of the Vandy guys that have waited until the 15th. The biggest thing that they regret is, not being able to get out there and pitch that first summer. They really, they're in shape.
It really eliminates a shorts, but a couple months of pro ball, right?
Right, it does. Say I wait until the 15th and I wouldn't have signed or I was signed on the 15th or something like that. I wouldn't play. Sure. I wouldn't been in shape. I'd just go to Arizona for probably 2 weeks then, and by that time, the season's pretty much over. So now you're waiting around for instructs and. It was just that was a big factor is being able to get out and pitch this summer, and when they thought it was Midland, then it worked out perfect.
That's great. AA to jump right into AA. That says a lot about your college career.
Well, that tells you how the A's feel as well. Exactly. I mean, most guys go to short season, right? A short season club, and they send you to AA. They must feel like you have a chance to get to the big leagues quickly.
I hope so. Absolutely.
I started in AA at 18. I saw pitches I've never seen in my life. So that is an accomplishment for you to go there. That's great, especially as a pitcher. The young man, Jamal Weeks, who been in the big leagues after sitting here and like yourself not too long ago, and went to the minor leagues, got healthy, and here he is in the big leagues.
I talked to him a little bit in the locker room, before we went out there and stretched, and tell him about a lot of his times and his times he had in Miami. And then when he signed, he said he did a lot of the same things that I was doing. So that was cool to get another perspective. He knew what I was going through. I was kind of nervous in the locker room in there. Around a bunch of big leaguers, you're not really around that every day. So,
well, you know what you should do? Stick around long enough, and that way you can go down and see Brian Davis and Steve Vucinich and check out the post-game meal.
Oh, yeah?
That'll be worthwhile. And stick around for that.
I might have to do that.
No, for sure. And I just go downstairs and just you'll see what it's like here, because when you go to Midland, it's not going to be anything like that. So if nothing else, you want to pitch at the major league level, but that post-game meal is something you can always look forward to as well.
I can eat now, let me tell you.
Well, that's good. Just
throw some pizza down there for me. And
good. Bring some up.
Big guy.
Bring some up.
We'll be all right.
Now, a lot of great things. I think it's always great for drafted players to get a chance to come here and get the feel of the major league, and it gives you an incentive when you go to the minor leagues and get back up here quickly. And I'm sure we'll see you next spring in Arizona, spring training.
Yeah,
and,
I'm going to spring training.
Big club invite.
Yes, sir. That was part of it. Yes,
That's
sir.
Great.
I'll be there.
That's great.
I guess end of February. Is
you don't have to keep calling us sir. Now
I
know that's your southern accent. I know that. I know. Yeah, I know. I've heard that before, but no, that's Houston Street did that forever.
Yeah.
Whatever he's hit big leagues, didn't matter. Everything was served. So it just.
If I didn't, my mom would slap me. She's probably listening to this over there. I'll get back in there and get slapped. So.
No. Don't change a thing. You've been brought up the right way. We look forward to seeing you here very quickly. I know Barry Zito was here, and we were talking earlier that Barry sat and said, I want to sign, I want to start playing, because this is where you want to end up playing at the big league level. And so the quicker you sign, the quicker you can get to pitching.
That's right.
Minor league level, the quicker you get back here. So we look forward to that.
That's right. So that's the plan.
Did you finish your education, college?
I've not yet. No
plans?
No, I have not.
Are you going to finish it?
I plan to.
Otherwise,
yes,
Mama's not going to like you.
Otherwise, I'll get slapped by Mama again. So, yeah, I plan to, and that's something that, you know, I really want to do, and I'm going to do it.
What are you studying?
Organizational management.
Okay.
At Vandy. So.
And David was sociology.
Sociology, he was.
Well, he's got a World Series under his belt, and so that's I'm sure a lot to look forward to.
He does. Hopefully one day be in the same place that he was.
Well, it's been 1989 since the A's were there, so we're looking forward to that as well. It's been too long of a time.
Moscoso trying to get out of the jam with just the 1 run worth of damage. 2-2 to Upton. That one bounced to Weeks, who's got it. He'll flip to Pennington on a close play. Side retired. Sonny Gray, A's #1 draft pick. Good luck. Thanks for coming up. We appreciate it. Hopefully we'll see you soon.
Thanks for having me.
And get an A's gold Kurt Suzuki jersey. Dressed like Kurt and the A's with his gold ultimate jersey presented by Pepsi Max. The tickets, call 877-493-BALL or go to oaklandathletics.com/tickets. Number 8, no puka shells on, just a plain alternate gold jersey and Suzuki name on the back. You have those puka shell t-shirts with Suzuki?
There's a couple in my house. Crisp, Matsui, and Willingham here in the bottom of the third. It's a tie game, 2-2. A lot of base runners for both teams in this game in the first 2 innings. These runs coming on Cliff Pennington's 2-run homer last inning. So it's fun to see Sonny Gray, a very, very nice young man from Vanderbilt. And I thought it was interesting, the Double-A thing. He's starting him in Double-A. I mean, that's really starting a guy probably 2 steps higher than you normally would.
Well, a lot of times
they think in fast track with Sonny Gray.
I was going to say, a lot of times they will do that if there's injuries to certain players. You want to send a guy there to finish out the season.
And that's possible too. Time for a Farmers Insurance report card. Hideki Matsui's recent offensive surge. The average since the All-Star break. He had the big road trip, Detroit and then Yankee Stadium. And 9 of his 12 hits came on four-seam fastballs. That was on that road trip. And of course, home run number 500 in Detroit, and then he hit one at Yankee Stadium as well. So it's good to see Matsui. Really is his first real solid hot streak, I think, this year. He got hot for a little while earlier.
Well, the one thing too, he's taking pitches that, in that case right there, an off-speed pitch first offering, and he didn't swing at it. Sometimes you get a little bit too anxious, and backed it up with a similar pitch. Took that also. Not a pitch that he felt he could hit. Talk about second half. Well, the July starts the second half of the season, and see how much improvement he's made with his batting average in addition to the power. Kev, you know, talking about the AA, it's one thing in case you might want to finish out the season, but I don't think the A's, you know, you brought it up where they thought so much about him, because you don't want to send somebody to a higher level and have him not have confidence in what he's doing. And,
especially his first year.
First year, exactly. And I know, again, my first experience of that going to AA, I couldn't wait to get out of there because I was so overmatched. And there's no way that I was going to be able to hit some of the pitches that I was seeing. That's different for him, having 3 years of college experience.
Well, and just, you know, reading reports on him, you know, they all said how advanced he was as a pitcher. So that may be all part of the thinking for the Athletics. We wish him the best of luck, and indeed we hope he gets here quickly. That would be fun. That one's driven to right field. Joyce is there. He's got it. Well, that wasn't that long ago. I remember Cliff Pennington sat up here. He was an A's #1 draft pick. A couple years ago, Grant Green sat up here with us for a couple of innings. Grant Green now in AA.
It might be the A's new center fielder. Playing some outfield or shortstop. You feel maybe change positions, but they thought he'd be a very good outfielder, and as a result, he has moved in and played some center field.
Michael Choice, the A's #1 pick last year. I don't remember him being here at the Coliseum, but he's having a very nice year in Stockton. Big, strong power hitter.
He's got a chance to go to spring training and show what he can do.
Yep.
And a lot of promise for him. And asking Sonny Gray about, thought he's going to be drafted by the A's. You look at the A's organization, pretty good pitching, but it says one thing: there's never enough pitching. So if you have a chance to draft someone who is good at the pitching, and I think what Billy Beane has said too many times, if you have enough pitching, a lot of pitching, you can always use certain pitchers for trades. If you want to try to acquire other position players.
Yeah, you have something that everybody else wants. One and two to Willingham, who walked in the first inning. Gray also said that part of his contract was an invitation to spring training in 2012.
Well, he will know tomorrow when he gets off the plane in Arizona, and he'll think next February, mid-February, when he gets off the plane for spring training, is this the same place? Because February and March, spring training in Arizona, much different than July, late July.
Yeah, spring training is definitely played. Probably the best weather time of year in Arizona.
Is that bell tie pitch again, and Josh Wellingham, what a great addition to this lineup for the Athletics from the right-handed standpoint. And you know, the A's have talked about hitting. Well, this guy's done his part with the Athletics. 13 and 50, 13 home runs, 50 runs batted in.
First pitch to Jesus. Good changeup, swing and a miss. De Jesus hit a fly ball to right field to end the first inning. He did it with a couple of runners on base.
Joking Sonny Gray about the physical, but very important part of signing or trading the physicals. Make sure that you are going to be signing someone who's healthy. You don't want these hidden injuries that might be there if you don't follow through. But especially in today's world with the draft choices and usually pretty good money that they receive.
Outside corner, and the count 1-2. Well, it's always fun to watch the families too. Sonny Gray was with his family down on the field. And how could you not? You know, look at your son or your brother and not be extremely proud.
Well, that's why I told him also to make sure he takes advantage of the post-game meal by Brian Davis and Steve Buscus downstairs, because that's something to look forward to and getting back up here. Post-game meals, because they are pretty good.
Pop up, and that'll reach the seats.
See, I had my first experience just eating cheeseburgers in Cleveland. I was drafted. You know, it's
come a long way since then.
There he is, David Price.
Well, perfect example of the food thing, Ray, and how far it's come. How about yesterday in the post-game spread at Yankee Stadium for the crab legs? Like a huge crate of crab legs.
And shrimp. It was. I mean, they've got a great kitchen anyway, but no wonder the guys didn't want to catch the bus to the airport.
Crab legs, as many as you want. I almost grabbed a couple.
That was the third meal of the day for the
at the ballpark.
At the ballpark, yeah. Breakfast about 9:30, the first bus, and the pregame meal.
Sure, you gotta have a little sandwich or something.
So Michael Kadire pitching for the Minnesota Twins. Score 20 to
5. 3-2. The runner takes off in a foul ball. So every team that's looking at Michael Kadire to maybe trade for him is going, get him off the mound, please.
Oh, and then the center fielder, probably as a pitcher, can't catch a ball that's dumped in front of him. Well, when you're facing a position player pitching, that is the worst thing as a hitter, because you don't want to embarrass yourself and make an out.
So Willingham takes off again, and this one's hit to left field. Playable for Desmond Jennings. He's got it side retired. We're headed to the fourth inning from the Coliseum. We got a 2-2 game. who are the last 3 athletic players to lead AL rookies in stolen bases. We'll let you know. 4th inning, Casey Kochman to lead it off.
Is it the 4th already?
It's creeping along. Rookie leaders in stolen bases. Ben Revere, speedy one from the Twins. Well, Weeks is going to play every day if he's healthy for the rest of the year, so he's going to rack up some more stolen bases.
Ben Revere made the highlights just recently as he was running so fast. He rounded second. He tripped, did a somersault en route to third base, got up, slid in safely with a triple.
Hey, Ben.
That is coordination. That is speed. Something most of us never dreamed about.
So 2-1 to Kochman. He'll be followed by Shopik and then Sean Rodriguez. Now 3-1. Moscoso has walked 3, has not struck anybody out. And he's allowed 4 hits. So he's been dealing with base runners quite a bit in the first 3 innings. Jackson gives ground to get a good hop, and that is out. No. A nice moment between innings. That gentleman holding up the Fosse Posse card is the creator of Fosse Posse, and he was up here, Ray, and I think you made his trip.
Stephen Burns, he and his father. I thought it's interesting. So I have seen about 6 parks as they live in New Jersey on the train Amtrak across the country, stopping, seeing some different parks. Ended up in the Bay Area, Sacramento, then down to the Bay Area. Got a chance to meet the young man, and he's going to go a long ways. There's no doubt. Not because of creating Fosse Posse.
Sure. Well, he's a nice young man. Sizemore, bare hand, the throw, and it's not in time, and it gets past Jackson, and it rolls all the way to the padding. And Shopik will be at second. So it's a single E5.
Not much of a chance for Sizemore to throw out. Shopik, even though he is a catcher, figure he's not running that fast, but a very difficult play, a ball that was chopped, and Sizemore has made this play, but once it hit and got past Connor Jackson, almost hit George Hendrick, the first base coach. That would have helped the A's keep Shopik at first, keep the double play in order. But sometimes it's better just to try to be a catcher and block a ball for your first baseman. Saving air, keep a guy at first base.
So here's Sean Rodriguez, the 9th place hitter.
You know where Desmond Jennings would have been on that play, don't you?
Standing at third. Rodriguez had a base hit leading off the 3rd inning, and then he scored on Jennings' double. But getting back to the young man who was up here with his father, and he was here before you got up here, and he was very much looking forward to meeting you. So he stuck around. So he made his night, which is perfect.
Nice young man.
Yeah. Strike in the inside corner from Moscoso.
And his dad Mike said they took Amtrak out from New Jersey, but they're going to fly back. But 6 days on the train is long enough. Be a nice experience. See a lot of the country as they travel from east to west.
Blocked by Suzuki. So the count 2-2. .63 pitches for Moscoso, and he has not been real sharp so far in this game. Did get a double play to end the 2nd inning. That was big out. Got out of a bases loaded 1-out jam in the 3rd. Rays scored 1 run in that inning. Full count.
Rodriguez be a good guy to get, because with 1 out, you put this guy on. Jennings going to be tough to double up with his speed. Johnny Damon, the veteran, follows Jennings.
Lifted to left where Matsui gets under it, and he's got it, and that's out number 2. So now the top of the order and Jennings.
Now batting, number 8, Desmond Jennings.
Jennings with a foul out in the first and that RBI double in the third. He lined one over the head of Matsui in left. Birmingham, Alabama, Desmond Jennings. Jennings 6'2", 200 pounds. Media guide tells us that he was a terrific football player. Alabama's Mr. Football runner-up as a wide receiver. It's not bad. Alabama.
If you're from Alabama, football is probably a sport you think about.
Yeah.
Talking to Joe Madden about this young man, and of course the Angels had not seen Mike Trout. Young man we saw when he was with the Angels the last homestand, and showing that he probably is a pretty good football player, at least has the speed. Had the speed also as a player, and then also the size to create a person that you probably would not want to try to tackle.
Trout hit a home run, didn't he, yesterday?
Yeah.
First one. So 1-2 to Desmond Jennings. This one popped up foul. Of course, the Rays lost Carl Crawford in the offseason, signed the big free agent contract with the Red Sox. I think the Rays were going to be able to sign him anyways, but I know the Rays did feel like, hey, we're hoping that Jennings can take over in the outfield.
For a lot less money.
Exactly. And, you know, maybe as time goes on, be the same type of player that Carl Crawford was. We shall see if that happens. Lots of potential and a very, very highly thought of prospect.
I think also about the Rays and their draft choices. At one time they were last place, the worst record. Some very good draft choices. Then this past offseason they lost a lot of type A free agents and picked up a lot of draft choices from other clubs, and they had 12, 15 first round.
Yeah.
I mean, it was unbelievable, the number of draft choices. So it's important to have the good scouting system, be out to scout players like the A's did with Sonny Gray. And those would be the future players, the Major League level.
They being the Rays, had 10 of the first 60 picks and 12 of the first 89 picks, and that is a lot. So it was a very important draft. But boy, you get 12 of the first 89 and you sign them all.
I mean, look at the homegrown products, players in their system, actually to the Major League level. And Joe Madden, I think he said it best. You know, he took a team to the World Series, 3 years ago, and now kind of at a rebuilding stage, knowing that they're in a tough division. But he is very good at handling the hand that is dealt to him, the players that he's given.
Jennings to center field. Coco Crisp goes back and he's got it, side retired. So a runner stranded after the base hit by Shopik. We go to the bottom of the fourth, tied at 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines.
Fresh asked Glenn and Ray a question. Al from Turlaw says, hey, with the trade deadline approaching, what do you think the A's front office will do? Al, I don't know. We have some ideas, but hey, front office at this time of year, they're usually keep it close to the vest, right? I mean, there's a lot of rumors out there, but those rumors are coming from a lot of different areas.
Well, it's amazing what the next 6 days and how kind of quickly and slowly at the same time they will go. And probably the one guy that it seems to be is kind of holding up things or waiting to see what's going to happen is Carlos Beltran.
Yeah, that's true.
He's one of the key pieces that maybe several clubs are looking for, and it might be a domino effect after him once the Mets decide if they are going to trade him. Whoever they trade them to, then the other clubs are looking for a top of player, maybe an outfielder. We'll start to look to other clubs and see who might be available. And I'm sure those contacts have already been made. We're just kind of waiting and seeing.
Now the A's certainly have a handful of players that people would like. Talk a lot about the bullpen guys. The A's have a very good bullpen and a pretty deep bullpen. Connor Jackson lofts one to right field. Matt Joyce is there.
We were just talking about the Rays' success in this last draft in June with all the draft choices they had and losing players. And unfortunately for teams that have players who other clubs might want, you have a tendency to ask quite a bit for players that you might be losing in free agency anyway. So clubs might decide, well, I'm not going to trade him, not going to get much for him, hold on. If he becomes a free agent, get the draft choice from the other club anyway. And some clubs would prefer to get draft choices. Maybe instead of getting less players for ones that they think. Of course, B.J. Upton is one that I'm sure teams are looking at. A player that they like to have him fill in.
And B.J. Upton, if you traded for him, you would have him next year as well.
That's right.
So that right there, the Rays are going to say, well, listen, he's not a rental player. You're going to have him next year, too. I want another prospect.
Yeah. Well, James Shields also, starting pitcher. And if you're on a team, as the Rays right now have essentially 6 starters, maybe they can afford to trade if they can get some pieces that would help them in the future. And because of the cost certainty of a pitcher who is already signed for this year plus next, there's big game James Shields. A's will see him in this series, maybe. That could change, really, they think about it. 4-game series, but young man is good. James Shields, as all teams in the American League have seen. But it is a great time of the season because there are teams who are in contention and want to try to help themselves, maybe take that extra step and go to the World Series and win, and are willing to give up some key young players in their system that they have high hopes for, but have a chance to get somebody major league ready that can help them win now. They're willing to give those players up.
I thought it was interesting. I was reading an article about Carlos Beltran, and it said that the Mets were now ready to 4 or 5 teams that are in contention for him. They've had their scouts. The Mets have had their scouts all over those 5 teams' minor league system, watching him for a while. They were now ready to sit down and say, okay, let's talk about the prospects from these 5 teams that we want to ask for Carlos Beltran. That may take a day or 2. And at that point, you'll probably see a deal somewhere.
And the domino effect might start after that.
There you go. So the Mets are saying, hey, we want that scout to watch that team's minor league system, come back to us and say, who do you like? He may name 5, 6 guys. Try to get that guy. If they say no, try to get that guy. So. Suzuki out in front. It's a foul.
But I think, too, everybody talks about the 31st of trading deadline. Non-waiver. And that's those 2 words probably the biggest keys, because trades can still occur after Sunday, but it's harder because players have to clear waivers. And I think you're looking at key players on a team that may not clear waivers and to be able to trade them. But prior to Sunday, or through Sunday anyway, at a certain time, any player without a trading or a no trade clause can be moved without clearing waivers.
Jennings has it. 3 up, 3 down inning for Jeremy Hellickson, and we're going to the 5th, tied at 2. Brought to you by Roaring Camp Railroads. Proud to welcome Thomas the Tank Engine July 29th through the 31st and August 5th through the 7th. RoaringCamp.com.
All aboard.
Top of the 5th. It's a 2-2 game. As it'll be Damon, Zobrist, and Longoria. Johnny Damon is 0 for 2. He popped out to short and grounded to third. Damon signing a 1-year contract, a little over $5 million this year for him to come to St. Petersburg and play for the Rays. Ray, you mentioned his quest for 3,000 hits. Right now, Johnny Damon has 2,673.
He'll get there.
So he's over 300 hits away, a couple of years worth.
Well, I think he's definitely found a home because he is home. And essentially, he's got a home, I think, in that area. Been a great career for Johnny Damon. The A's were fortunate to have him for a short amount of time. Then he went on to Boston and helped the Red Sox beat the A's in postseason.
Flips this one to shallow left. Matsui on the run, and Matsui goes into a slide. He trapped it. The throw to second base, and Damon just gets in ahead of the tag. Paul Schreiber, the third base umpire, got a pretty good look at that. He said Matsui trapped it.
And I think that's exactly right. A softly hit ball. Matsui doing a good job getting to the ball, but it looked like even as the ball got to Matsui, he slid, and it had that little quick short hop that bounced into his glove right there. You could see it, and came up quickly to throw. He knew, and tried to get Johnny Damon going to second base, and Damon with a very hard slide, but watched the ball hit right there, and that's when Matsui knew. And he popped up quickly. Great effort trying to show third base umpire that he caught it. Once he did not see that sign, figured he could not sell it. Threw quickly.
And it's a leadoff double. So hit number 4 for the Rays, and here's Ben Zobrist, who has homered and walked. It's a final in New York. The Yankees beat the Seattle Mariners 10-3. So Seattle has lost 16 consecutive games. 1-6. Right field, DeJesus is there. He's got it. Tagging is Damon. He's going to try for third. The throw is just a bit late. And Damon gets there safely.
Johnny Damon, once he saw, he knew the ball was going to be caught. And even though DeJesus has a strong arm, Damon still with very good speed. Johnny Damon has always had that kind of speed that takes advantage, taking the extra base. He did it knowing the ball that he blew to left field. He'd hustled into second for a double. And your manager, that is a great way to say to the players, now that's how you play the game. Run hard to get to second base, then tag up, get to third. Infield comes in. He's trying to prevent them from scoring right now.
Longoria, a couple of walks in the game. Breaking ball is low. 2-0.
It's not like to see Evan Longoria in this situation with the infield in. He's a very good RBI man, good hitter. Injured at the beginning of the season, but back to his normal self, is swinging the bat well.
Fastball just off the plate, and it's 3-0. Matt Joyce in the on-deck circle.
He's not even looking at third base, Tom Foley. Just one of those, I'm going to take a strike, or if I get one, I'm going to hit.
And he popped it up. Jackson near the seats, and he reaches out, and he cannot get to it.
Might have been the best non-catch you could make, because that was going to be tough to recover catching the ball and then throw out Johnny Damon, who was tagging and excellent speed. But great effort by Connor Jackson. The ball just kept drifting away. He looked up to see how much room he had, and then once he got there, that's when the ball drifted on him. Fortunately, that wall is padded nicely. But Longoria swinging 3-0, got a fastball to hit, but a little bit late on it.
3-1 pitch is foul back, so now it's a full count.
Okay, those two swings on fastballs, but he's fouled back and off to the right. Almost thinking it's kind of looking off speed pitches. Because there's two pretty good fastballs to hit.
Damon, the runner at third. Payoff pitch to Longoria. Up and in, and there's the walk. Third walk for Longoria in the game, and now Joyce is going to have a chance.
The A's third fireworks show of the season blast off Friday, July the 29th. This is coming Friday. The show set to Broadway show tunes and presented by the Bay Area News Group begins after the A's play the Twins here at the Coliseum. Bring the family and your picnic blankets and enjoy the show from the outfield grass. For tickets, go to oaklandathletics.com/tickets.
So Friday night fireworks here at the Coliseum. So Matt Joyce is the hitter. Ron Romanek going over Joyce with his pitcher Guillermo Mosco. So Joyce came up with the bases loaded and one out in the third inning. And he popped out to right field, so he could not get the runner from third home. He gets another opportunity here in the fifth.
I'd like to get the ground ball that he hit in his first at bat to second base, because the A's, I wouldn't say pitching carefully to Longoria, but did walk him. Does set up the double play with the infield moving back.
Joyce takes a strike in the outside corner.
Sometimes you like to throw a little two-seam fastball, right-handed, left-handed hitter, and try to get him to roll over on a pitch and get the ground ball. Trying to keep him from hitting the ball in the air deep enough to score the run.
Line, Pennington has it, flips to Weeks. Weeks spins around, throws to first. He throws wide into the Rays dugout. Damon scores. So the Rays are going to take a 3-2 lead, and Joyce is going to end up at second base. It would have been a very difficult pivot for Weeks, and I don't think he had a chance to turn the double plug.
No, he did not, and tried to catch the ball and then spin around and threw to first base for not really knowing where first base was. Cliff Pennington, a good job keeping him from going into center field, but right there, just forget about throwing.
So fielder's choice, RBI, and an error on Weeks. So Joyce gets his 46th RBI. And here's Upton. Upton has grounded out twice. In the second inning, hit a hard ball that went off Sizemore's glove, and it went right to Pennington, who barehanded it and threw out Upton at first. Fastball, swing and a miss, 0-2. So Hellickson's got a lead. This will be pitch number 90 for Moscoso. Upton leads this Rays team in home runs with 15, and he's tied with Zobrist coming into tonight with RBIs. 52. Zobrist has the home run, so Zobrist now leads the team in runs batted in.
He's in the series against the Angels. Had pitchers, 3 consecutive pitchers, go 7 innings on this last road trip. 5 games on the road. Only Rich Harden pitched 5 1/3. Everybody else less than that. The starting staff, so the bullpen got a lot of work in the last 5 games on the road.
High pop up near the Rays dugout, and it will be right into the dugout. So another 1-2 to B.J. Upton. Joyce, decent speed at second. That one's drilled to center and hit well. Crisp on the move, and it is over his head off the wall. Ball rolling back toward the infield, and Upton's going to have an RBI triple. And Coco Crisp ran into that wall hard. And he's been playing with a sore heel for quite a while. So Joyce scores on the Upton triple.
I threw him enough fastballs where he could extend his arm. That ball belt high, and actually threw a couple of fastballs by Upton, but he saw enough, timed it, and boy, Coco jammed it hard. And see what part of his body he hit when he did hit the wall. Momentum carried him in, left knee, banged it hard.
So here's Kochman, 4-2 now, Rays lead. green paint from the center field wall. Well, Bob Melvin was talking about Coco Crisp in Detroit, saying how impressed he was knowing that he's pretty banged up, but he goes out there every day. Teammates see it. Kochman with a base hit in the second and a ground out in the fourth. He lays off the changeup to even the count at 1-1. Another changeup, and Kochman reaches for him. So you saw action out in the A's bullpen with Michael Wirtz starting to throw. A lot of pitches for Moscoso through 5 innings, closing in on 100. Left center, Coco got a good jump, and he makes the catch. Side retired. Couple of runs on a double and a triple, and there was an error, and it's 4-2, the Rays lead.
Nice job, nice.
Three athletics players to lead AL rookies in stolen bases. Ricky Henderson in 1979. Mitchell Page, 42 steals in 1977. Herb Washington, how about that? 29 steals in 1974.
How many hits did he get? 0. Never swung the bat.
That's funny. So he did not get one single at bat. Not even like a blowout. Let's get him an at bat. 0. Herb Washington.
Good man. Very nice man.
Hey, he was a track guy. It wasn't his fault, right?
Hurdler. He could run. He's fast, and anybody got on base, Herbie will run.
So I take it he ran for you a few times.
Yes. Yeah. Finch ran in the World Series game 2. Mike Marshall picked him off, or game 1. Then game 2 he got on, kept his foot on the bag. Mike Marshall had a great move, and
sort of defeats the purpose of him being out there.
This gave the A's an early 2-1 lead. Cliff Pennington, a fastball inside part of the plate, turned on it, and home run number 5 for Cliff Pennington gives him 30 runs batted in. So his pitch count getting a little bit high. See if he goes back out for the 6th.
Well, Michael Wirtz was loosening up. He is sat down. Payout pitch to Pennington. And that is just a bit outside, and it's a leadoff walk. So top of the order in Jemiah Week. So I got to tell you, so the Mariners lose again, right? 16th consecutive loss. So remember the game here. The A's lose 4-2 in 10 innings to the Mariners with the controversial play with Ichiro Suzuki sliding at second base. Right. We're thinking he was.
Yeah.
Probably could have been called out anyways. He wasn't. Error, run scores. Anyway, the Mariners win the game 4-2.
Yeah.
You know where I'm going with this. That was July 5. Yeah. July 5. It was a Tuesday night.
Right.
That's the last game the Mariners won. Can you believe that?
Because
the 5th of July.
Moscoso shut them out the next night.
Yeah.
Or next afternoon,
yeah.
2-0. And that began their trek right now, 16 to 3.
So the last game they won was July 5th, right here at the Coliseum. Controversial. Unbelievable. 16 consecutive losses. And of course, the Mariners are in New York, and they'll have 2 more games against the Yankees. And then they'll have an off day, and they will go home, and they will play these Rays.
And the Mariners, about 2 days ago, let's see, when they had a 12 game, so 4 days ago, 12-game losing streak, their average runs per game was 2.3 in those losses. Against the A's, of the 3 games, 2 of which they won, in the 3 games, they scored a total of 4 earned runs.
And won 2 of them, right?
Won 2 of them, because they had 2 earned runs they scored in the 4th of July game.
Well, their offense has certainly struggled all year. The Mariners, the pitching has been very good, but lately the pitching is starting to get knocked around, and
well,
that makes it really difficult.
Pitching starts to get knocked around because they know if they give up a run, they got a chance to lose.
Maybe. Well, then, like yesterday, they score 8 runs, then lose 12-8.
And that's the game they thought they might have a chance to win because Tim Wakefield, the knuckleballer, was pitching. Might have a chance because
Pineda pitched for them.
Pineda, and going into New York, if the A's met CC Sabathia over the weekend, guess who's going to get him in this 3-game series?
Of course. Weeks hanging in there to keep the count 1-2. Mentioned Moscoso's pitch count, which is high. So is Hellickson's. He's sitting at 91, and there's nobody out here in the 5th inning. So it's going to be one of those bullpen battles tonight. Weeks is 0 for 2, fly ball to left, and a foul out to third. Up the middle on the backhand is Zobrist, and they'll get the out at second, nothing more. Zobrist made sure the out at second. So 1 out here at the bottom of the 5th for Coco Crisp.
Zobrist, a very nice play, catching the ball backhand, feeding it to a shortstop, Rodriguez, who threw to first with no chance to hit the speedy Weeks.
Crisp has a couple of flyouts tonight, 1 to center and 1 to left. First pitch strike.
That's a high strike. Maybe Chet Fairchild is getting in Figuring this game's taking too much time, going to start forcing the hitters to swing the bat a little bit.
The hand protector for Jamal Weeks. One thing we've noticed with Weeks, Ray, sliding in head first to second base, seems like sometimes he slides a little late.
Yeah. Well,
shoots right past the bag.
Well, he slides late, and the reason he's wearing the protection on his left hand because he did jam his fingers into the bag at second base.
Obviously, the later you slide, the harder your hands are going to go into the bag.
And if you do lift your hands over the bag, your momentum carries you to where your foot can't hang on. Never seen that kind of protection, though. That takes it right to the end of the fingertips.
Fans not happy with Hellickson's choice to keep a close eye on Weeks. Weeks not running, and the pitch is just outside. 1-1 the count. Hellickson's last start, he threw 119 pitches in 7 innings, and he beat the Yankees.
Previous start, 16 days in between, considering a rain out in the All-Star break between starts.
We'll start
on schedule now.
Tuesday, yeah.
So maybe he's thinking, I'm going to be out here a couple of hours regardless, and he's.
What do you got for us, Ray?
Tomorrow, the A's will host their first pregame tweet up. The special Plaza infield ticket that includes early access to the East Side Club. A's players Gio Gonzalez and Brad Ziegler will be on hand to answer fans' questions. Followed by a panel featuring A's broadcaster Vince Cotroneo, Glenn Kuiper. Oh, no, you're not listening. Kate Longworth at Comcast Sportsnet. Chris Townsend from Sportsnet Radio 95.7 FM. Grady, you know what tweet up means? There's no clue. For more information to buy tickets, visit OaklandAthletics.com/tweetup. There you go, Grady. OaklandAthletics.com/tweetup. Not surprised Vinny's on there.
Yeah, Vinny's going to break it down. Two and one to Coco. Now 3-1. We do get action out in that Rays bullpen. Brandon Gomes, right-hander. And there's the walk. So the A's are in business here in the bottom of the 5th.
How about a double steal? Hellickson taking a lot of time, and maybe that's something with speed at second and first, and Weeks and Crisp, and old man better speed it up because he's got to get through 5 innings to even qualify for a win. And I don't know that Joe Madden, like Joe Girardi in New York, even a big lead for Phil Hughes, took him out in the 5th inning.
Well, Hellickson had a 3-up, 3-down inning in the 4th. He's had allowed at least 1 base runner in every other inning. 2 here in the 5th. And a hot hitter in Hideki Matsui. Matsui. Bounces one slowly towards short. On the first, so Rodriguez throws out Matsui for the second out. Hope the runners move up.
Now batting, designated hitter.
So a hit here, and the A's could tie up this game as Josh Willingham steps up. .260 average with runners in scoring position and 2 outs, best in the American League, the Oakland Athletics. Now Wirtz starts to throw again for the A's. Fastball in on the hands of Willingham, and he fouls it back. Only one other game going on. Ziegler now joining Wirtz in the American League. The Royals and the Red Sox are tied 1-1 in the 9th inning at Fenway Park. I believe there was a rain delay in that game. Everything else is final. We'll give you some of the heroes in a little bit. That was pitch number 100 for Hellickson.
Still pitching well. Good velocity on his fastball. There's a slight cut to it, but he is thinking he's probably give it all he's got right now. It might be a pretty good chance it's his last inning if they're watching out for him, and especially the number of innings he pitches, and the pitch count at this point probably is enough.
To third, Longoria. He's very good, and he picks it and throws out Willingham. So the A's cannot get a run across. They strand a pair. Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort. Play the zone only at Cache Creek and win a chance to play the Red Hot Zone. Visit CacheCreek.com for details. Rays 4 and the A's 2. It is the top of the 6th inning here at the Coliseum. So Guillermo Moscoso is back to work, sitting at 97 pitches as he faces Shopik, Rodriguez, and then the top of the order, Desmond Jennings. Just a bit low. The first pitch to Shopik, who is hit into a double play, and he has singled. breaking ball, swing and a miss.
And Shopik with a base hit in his last at bat, the slow hit ball to third. His numbers against right-handers have not been very good this year. Shopik, lefties though, he's hitting very well, but the right-handers not so well.
He drills that one deep to left, and it is gone.
Is Moscoso a right-hander?
Yes, he is.
That's why you don't believe numbers.
That was a bomb, folks, and the Rays lead 5-2.
That's why they call them the splits and all that, but this young man just said, forget about those numbers. He crushed it, and that's going to be the last pitch thrown by Moscoso. So he gets a swinging bunt and then a second deck home run. Back-to-back at bats.
So when it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change tune-up and smog experts.
Any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Athletics Investment Group, LLC.
Five to 2, the Rays lead the Athletics. Kelly Shopik with his 6th home run of the year, a long one to left field. Watch where this baby lands.
Well, talk about a great swing. That ball right down the middle, and Moscoso did not even want to look. It sounded like it was going to go a long way, and it did.
So second home run in the game for the Rays. Zobrist homered in the first. So Michael Wirtz comes in. Wirtz is sporting a 4.13 ERA. Does not have a win or a loss. There's the good slider. Rodriguez swings and misses. So 5 earned runs in 5 innings for Guillermo Moscoso. Sizemore stays down on it, throws out Rodriguez. So that's out number 1 here in the top of the 6th inning.
Now batting, number 8, Desmond Jennings.
So here's Jennings, who has a big hit in this game, an RBI double in the 3rd inning. Wirtz pitched on Friday night in New York. It's the night the Yankees scored all those runs. Nope. decent chance that was a first A's game right there for the youngster. Jennings has his second hit. He lines it to left. A's fans, meet tomorrow's future stars with our latest feature, Meet a Prospect. Today we introduce you to the Athletics prospect Adrian Cardenas as he explains how he balances college and his baseball career. CSNCalifornia.com, your interactive home for A's baseball all season long.
We'll see if Jennings is going to run in this at bat with the right-handed pitcher. And talked about his speed. He had a very good series, very good game in Kansas City on base. If he has the speed, we may get a chance to see it.
He's got a good lead, not going. Damon hits a high pop-up foul. Lefty. Lefty made the play. Damon doubled and scored in the 5th inning. Ball down the left field line. Matsui went into a slide for and trapped it. And Damon just beat the tag at second base. There he goes. Pitch out. The throw is not nearly in time. Jennings got a good jump when he has a stolen base.
And he runs a little bit like Carl Crawford.
Yeah, he's fast.
Former Tampa Bay Ray. At the sprinter speed. Pennington, even with a pitch out, took the throw in front of second.
One and two now to Johnny Damon.
He even looked back. Oh, they're pitching out. Oh. Let me just keep running.
Suzuki blocks it. The runner's trying for third, and he is out. Suzuki with a terrific play. Just catching the ball, and then he made the throw to get Jennings at third.
Well, once the ball hit the dirt, Jennings, who had a pretty good lead off second base, figured he's going to have a good chance, but Suzuki came up with it, saw it was going, and Damon actually, Johnny, put up his hand trying to tell Jennings not to run. He was too far anyway. Johnny Damon actually did a very good job. He did not move out of the batter's box, stayed there, and Kurt Suzuki had to throw around him, did a very good job, and got the put out. That is not a caught stealing. It's a 2-3 on the put out. Sometimes you can be too fast.
Yeah, he's too fast. Damon swings at the slider, lets the bat go. So side retired. Shopik with a home run. Rays get a lead. So we're headed to the bottom of the 6th. It's 5-2 Tampa Bay.
Where Nestle's Dibbs presents
6th inning, it's time for the Coors Light Freeze Can. Coors Light Freeze Can is brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. It's the world's most refreshing beer. Rays 5, A's 2. It is the bottom of the 6th inning. So the A's will have some work to do here in the late innings. Hellickson is back out there. David DeJesus to lead it off. DeJesus, Jackson, and Sizemore for the A's here in the bottom of the 6th. DeJesus goes after the first pitch, fouls it back.
One thing the A's did on this road trip, they took advantage of walks. Received 4 tonight. They have not scored, but you see the fly ball outs, 10 recorded by the right-hander, only 3 on the ground, and coincidentally, the last inning, all 3 outs were on the ground. Shorter than the last one with runners in scoring position would have tied the game if the A's could have come up with a hit.
I think Joe Maddon's dying to get one more inning out of Hellickson. Curveball drops low. That was pitch number 104.
Dave Martinez to our left, bench coach, and Jim Hickey, the pitching coach. And here's Raymond back here. Just always finds his way to get in the picture.
Yeah, part of the staff. Staff security guard.
Oh, Raymond.
It's like those guys that the Yankees bring out. You know, they got the two, three big guys that if you like, if you look at a Yankee player, they look at you like you need to get out of here.
Yeah.
Excuse me, sir, I have a media pass.
Right. Yeah, but you're walking through where the Yankees walk.
Exactly, and don't look at them. Line into DeJesus is going to have extra bases as he hits it into the corner. So David DeJesus has his first hit.
That's what he was trying to do yesterday against Mariano Rivera, except it did not get over the head of Mark Teixeira at first base, but solidly hit this time. And that probably is going to be it as Joe Maddon does go to the mound, but David DeJesus, is that his 200th?
Yeah, congratulations.
Corporal Chris got his yesterday, as a matter of fact, in the 8th inning. So back-to-back games in which A's players have recorded the 200th double.
So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. could get the win. Cannot get the loss. He leaves with a runner at second base. That's DeJesus. So Connor Jackson steps in. Brandon Gomes is the new pitcher for the Rays.
Low 90s fastball, slider, and a split finger fastball. And there's your good fastball from the right-hander.
17th appearance for Gomes. A lot of base runners in 16 2/3 innings. Right side, backhanded by Kochman. So Jackson is retired. DeJesus to third with one out.
Cue the music. 15th annual Oakland A's Beer. 15th annual Oakland A's Beer Fest. That's kite clapping. Is on Saturday, this Saturday, July 30th, from 4:05 to 6:05 in the Eastside Club. Enjoy over 30 different microbreweries, live music, and other festivities. A souvenir beer mug and 3 microbrew tastings will be available for $12. Additional tastings are also available. Must be 21 or older. Admission is free with the game ticket to that evening's game against the Twins. More information, go to oaklandathletics.com.
Remember, I grew up where bratwursts are
Big time.
the greatest food ever created.
Well, when the A's visit Milwaukee next summer for interleague play for the first time, maybe we can revisit some of the.
We'll have a brat. Hit hard to left field. Jennings going back. Makes the catch. Sizemore is going to get a sacrifice fly as DeJesus trots home. So now it's 5-3.
That run charged to Hellickson, and his line is complete for the evening. Connor Jackson hit the ball to the right side, which you could look at as a good job moving the runner over to third. But when you're down 3 runs, he was trying for more than that. But at least the A's played good fundamental baseball and scored the leadoff double.
So 2 outs now for Suzuki. Kurt has struck out and hit a fly ball to left field. So there's a vicious rumor out there that the A's may be going to Milwaukee next year. Is that what you're telling me?
You already said that. I've seen the schedule.
I have not seen it, but I've heard a couple people throwing that rumor out there. Hits the bag and rolls down the left field line. Suzuki will stop at first. Kurt will take it, as that's a base hit.
Yes, he will definitely take a ball off the mag because he's hit some balls very hard. Evan Longoria, Gold Glover, went after it, and no chance. He was hoping the ball would bypass it and get into foul territory so he can try to make the play.
So the pitching coach, Jim Hickey, comes out to talk to the youngster, Brandon Gomes.
Well, look at all those players around the mound. And Joe Madden, the manager, had these different themes. And to look at his hair and to think that he could not get his players to buy into long hair. They're all short cut. Of course, playing down in Florida, see Joe with the hair, he's got a couple of months the rest of the season, and he said it'd be great to go into postseason. We all have long hair like the Oakland A's in the early 70s.
There you go.
Joe usually had a little flat top, and
sure,
now
looks a lot different.
Longer hair.
At least when he takes his hat off.
We hadn't seen him since last year, and this is July the 25th.
First matchup of the year between the A's and the Rays.
See, 4 games here, and then next weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday in Florida. The A's will be there playing the Rays.
Drops outside to Cliff Pennington. Pennington, a home run to right field. That was in the 2nd inning. It was his 5th of the year. Loops this one to left. Coming on is Jennings. He'll play it on out. Pennington is 2 for 2 with a walk. So Weeks is going to have a chance to get the A's another run.
And not against this pitcher, because Joe Madden coming out again, going to his left-handed, turned Jamal Weeks around to bat right-handed.
So Howell's coming in to face Weeks. We'll be back. The Athletics here in the 6th. They run in. So the new pitcher is J.P. Howell. Back from injury last year.
Yeah. He knows how to pitch. Is not overpowering, but a finesse type pitcher from the left side. He's got the long haired look. Joe Madden's got to be happy with him. Beard and the long haired look. Fastball. They're not overpowering with the fastball, curveball, changeup, and he's had the experience in this role. Done a good job for Joe Madden.
First pitch to the switch hitting Weeks is down low.
You have switch hitters in the lineup. That's something that the managers go by, and pitching coaches, the splits as they call them, how switch hitter hits against the various pitchers, and a lot of times they look at the numbers, turn them around. In this case, Weeks to bat right-handed.
And that one in for a strike. In 2008 and then again in 2009, Howell, one of the better left-handed relievers in the American League. It was terrific. But last year, shoulder injury. He would end up having surgery on that shoulder during the season. So he did not pitch at all last year. So he's still rounding back into form, but he at one time, not long ago, was terrific. So 1-2 to Weeks. Good breaking ball from Howell. Weeks is able to stay alive. Watch the pitcher.
Got to hyperextended his knee a little bit. It's kind of dangerous. Pitcher's been injured. The last thing he wants to think about is making a pitch. Either slipping on the mound, stepping in another pitcher's hole that he's created with the follow through.
Bounce to the left side. Longoria quickly to second. Side retired. A's get a run on 3 hits. It's 5-3 after 6.
McDonald's on this date 15 years ago. Mark McGwire blasts a 5th deck home run at the Sky Dome in Toronto. Becomes the 2nd player to reach their 488-foot drive off Tuck Thunder. Lands 4 rows up from where Jose Canseco hit one in the 1989 playoff.
You were there.
I was there for both of them, and Canseco said I didn't get all of it. Big Mac got all of it. Crush. There's Canseco's, and go up, camera. Go up higher. And he flipped the bat, got back to the dugout. That's where it went. And he said, nah, didn't really quite get all of it, but that's enough. 5th deck at Sky Dome.
Yeah, that is enough.
When we're there in a couple of weeks, we'll show you the 5th deck at Sky Dome, and now called Rogers Center, and let you see exactly how far they hit them.
7th inning, and Ben Zobrist leading it off. He'll be followed by Longoria and Matt Joyce, I should say. That game in Texas, some 2011 season records were set because the Rangers scored 20 runs. They beat the Twins 20-6. Zobrist is going to have extra bases as he hits that one just inside foul line, and that's going to be a double for Zobrist. Most in the majors, 32 doubles this year for Zobrist. So he's got a homer and a double and a walk in the game.
Well, you talk about a very good player for the Rays, and just really kind of came into his own. A couple of years ago, he had a lot of home runs. He's hit one tonight, giving him 12, driven in 53 of those 32 doubles. Very productive for a man who can play all over the place.
Strike called to Longoria. So the Rangers had 20 runs and 27 hits in that game, both season highs in the major leagues. 20-6 was the final. Michael Young homered and Kinsler homered, and Holland was the winner. Kinsler had 4 hits, Cruz had 4 hits, Napoli had 4 hits. And Michael Kadire pitched 1 inning, 16 pitches, and did not give up any runs.
So he will go into the baseball encyclopedia after his career is over, at least with an inning and 0.00 on-run average.
So Texas now 59-44. Runner goes, swing and a miss. The throw to third is late. Longoria strikes out. Zobrist steals third.
Could have been the case of Zobrist picking up a sign or having a pretty good idea that maybe it's going to be the slider, looks like the splitter, but able to steal third. But Longoria struck out, and a new pitcher for the A's.
When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune Up, your oil change tune up and smog experts. Brought to you by Jack in the Box. For a limited time, Jack's really big chicken sandwich combo's back. 2 chicken patties, bacon, melting cheese. It's served with a 20-ounce drink and small seasoned curly fries for only $3.99 plus tax. It's at participating restaurants. A's fans enjoying the ball game tonight. Sneaking out for maybe a hat, jacket. Bring something home. Right now, the A's trailing 5-3. So Fuentes' job is to get the left-handed hitting Matt Joyce. Infield in, and there's a little broken bat behind first. It's going to drop foul. So Zobrist is the runner at third. He led off the inning with a double and then stole third. Joyce knocked in a run with that fielder's choice in the 5th inning. In the on-deck circle is B.J. Upton.
Casey Kochman after that. So if Fuentes can get Joyce without this run from scoring, he might intentionally walk Upton.
Another broken bat.
Oh, Brad, isn't he good? He might have run out of bats going over to the bat rack. Bringing out another one. Got to put some pine tar on it though, Brett, so the hitter doesn't have to go back to the on-deck circle.
Well, this is Joe West crew, so Joe keeps an eye on that. You don't want to take too long.
When a hitter breaks that many bats, he might start looking for somebody else's bat. So I've broken enough of mine. See if I can pick on it.
Good pitch. Call the ball. 2-2. I thought maybe it was a strike. We don't count up here.
Well, it's only down the middle.
hard, but foul.
You're the person below us. Hey, you didn't break it this time.
It's a good line. Good line. Infield in. And now full count. Both bullpens are quiet. Another foul ball. Mentioned Joe West's crew. I believe they were in San Francisco over the weekend. And the reason I say that is
Sam Holbrook.
Yeah, well, Sam and Joe West, because I saw Joe West go over to the Brewers dugout, saw a highlight of it, told Niger Morgan to cool it.
Yeah.
Don't see that very often.
It was Sam Holbrook who threw out.
That's right. Sam Holbrook threw somebody out. Yeah. So they're spending a week in the Bay Area.
Which is the way it should be. If the umpires, there's no reason whether the umpires are here to go to San Francisco or vice versa, so they don't have to worry about hurrying to catch a plane and stay in one hotel. Don't have to worry about moving after a series.
Swing and a miss. Big strikeout for Brian Fuentes, and that's out number 2. Well, authentic fans know where to find the best deal in Bay Area baseball. Comcast Sportsnet California's Authentic Fan Fridays right here at the Coliseum. $12 get you $12. Get you a ticket in our value deck behind home plate. Get you a A's Fan t-shirt, a cheer card, and a $6 food and drink voucher. The next Authentic Fan Friday is this Friday versus the Minnesota Twins. Log on to csncalifornia.com to get your tickets.
Now, Brian Fuentes finally threw him a 3-2 fastball, threw it right by Joyce after a few changeups, a couple of broken bats, and Brian Fuentes, the specialist, especially against lefties, got the job done there. Ron Romanek went out to talk to him and Kurt Suzuki about this right-hander Upton. And if you see 4 pitches towards the outside part of the plate, you might think it's trying to get him to chase a pitcher's pitch. Otherwise, Kochman, the left-hander, is the on-deck sir.
Good pitch there right at the knees, and the count is 1-1. Upton had an RBI triple in the 5th inning. Before that, a couple of ground outs. He bounces that one. Again off Sizemore. Pennington has it, throws him out. How about that? So the Rays do not score. 7th inning stretch. 5-3 Tampa Bay. this 7th inning.
Well, Sizemore dove for it, missed it, but watch Pennington as he catches the ball, maybe slightly hit the glove, but as he took it out of his glove, maybe just popped out of his hand just a moment, but still a very strong throw. Did he just barely tip it?
A little bit.
Fortunately, not a lot because it went right to Cliff Pennington, but the transfer, glove to hand by Pennington, we saw that happen on the road where he actually made an error because he could not keep the ball in his hand. This time he did, and a very strong arm able to take it.
Right at Longoria, who is playing in. Handles it, and that's out number 1. So Crisp is 0 for 3 with a walk, and that'll bring up Hideki Matsui.
Left fielder, number 55, Hideki Matsui.
Matsui tonight a walk, a fly out, and a ground out. So he is 0 for 2. First pitch is in for a strike. The Indians beat the Angels tonight 3-2 in Cleveland. A walk-off single by the rookie Jason Kipnis, who was just brought up from the minor leagues. Jordan Walden blew the save, and the Indians win the game. Danny Herron thought he had a win. Struck out 10 in 7 2/3, but the Indians come back. Joel Peralta is now the man up in the Rays bullpen. So with Texas winning, the Angels losing, the Angels lose a game. They're now 4 back in the standings. Joey Devine's throwing for the A's. White Sox beat Detroit 6-3. Chicago, it's a big series in the American League. In Chicago, 3 games. And the White Sox beat the first place Tigers, so they are now 3.5 back. Cleveland also won, as we said, so Detroit's lead now 1 over Cleveland, 3.5 over Chicago. So things are tightening up in that AL Central. Hit hard, the dive by Zobrist under his glove, and Matsui has a base hit.
Well, he's just making solid contact, and once the ball meets his bat, it's shooting through the infield in this case very quickly. And nice to see Matsui, that little fastball from J.P. Howe, and Zobrist looks like he might have a chance, but the dive could not go out, so that just shows you how hard Matsui hit the ball.
Here's Willingham. A breaking ball from Howe, but it drops down and into Willingham. Two 2-0. Yankees beat Seattle 10-3. Had a rain delay in it, a couple of hours. Garcia over Vargas. Ziegler joins Devine in that A's bullpen. And they're still playing at Fenway. Royals 1, Red Sox 1 in the bottom of the 11th inning. The Red Sox know that the Yankees won their game. Breaking ball, and it's low, 3-1.
That's a good changeup, and Josh Willingham doing a good job laying off one of the specialties from Howe.
David DeJesus waiting in the on-deck circle. Another good take by Willingham, and it's the walk. So that's 5 walks by Rays pitchers tonight.
How many have scored? Not enough. 0.
Jesus doubled and scored in the 6th. Scored on a sacrifice fly from Sizemore. First pitch is outside. Well, Peralta down in the Rays bullpen is just standing on the mound now. He's not really throwing, so he's ready to go if called upon. There's a shot, base hit down the right field line. Matsui's going to come in to score. Over to third is Willingham, and the ball is underneath DeJesus, who had a slide back to first base. So now it's a 5-4 game.
Well, if David had known the throw was coming at first base, he could have continued to second. Joyce did a very good job getting to the ball, but DeJesus got the high, looked like an off-speed pitch, passed and over the first baseman, and Joyce got to it, and it came up, and he was thrown immediately towards the plate, and for some reason DeJesus, who was headed towards second base, decided to dive back, and the ball got stuck under him. But I think Joyce was thinking about the run coming home, and that's why the throw was coming to what looked like home plate, and Kochman had no clue where the ball was, and it was underneath.
So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. Fram Autolite NHRA Nationals NHRA Full Throttle Drag Racing Series returns to Sonoma. It's July 29th through the 31st. Tickets at InfinianRaceway.com. So that's this weekend. Rays 5, A's 4. The A's have the tying run at third and 1 out. Connor Jackson is the hitter. Peralta's first pitch is popped up foul down toward the Rays bullpen. So Jackson a chance to tie it. There's Joel Peralta, game number 50.
He's also got a split finger fastball. There is the grip that he's putting his fingers around the baseball in the split grip. See if he changes it when he gets it in his glove. Fastball, slider go along with that, as well as a curveball. Well, he's got 2 pretty good fastballs to hit.
So Jackson now behind in the count 0-2. blocked by Shopik as he scrambles after.
That's a split with 2 strikes. You know what Joe Peralta is known for? This splitter. Good job by Shopik. He's with Kansas City 2006, 2007. I cannot remember which year it was, but Jason Kendall hit his only home run for the A's against Peralta down the left field line. I jumped out of my seat.
Yeah, you were awesome.
Get up.
Get up.
Oh, Bob Uecker call. Get out of here.
Hop up, and that's going to reach the seats. So the count remains 1-2. Jackson singled and scored in the second. Fly out to right in the fourth. Ground out to first in the sixth. That ground out to first in the sixth inning moved DeJesus from second to third, and then DeJesus scored on a sacrifice fly. So it was a productive out for Connor Jackson. That one drilled left center field. Is anybody going to get it? And no, it's off the wall. Willingham scores. Here comes the go-ahead run, and DeJesus is safe. The A's lead. Jackson comes through.
Split in the dirt, and then Connor Jackson got a hanger, and he crushed it. About as hard and as far as you could hit it in the conditions tonight. And J.P. Howell, a couple of runners on, and Peralta with a hanging breaking ball, and Connor Jackson crushed it. You know, this is just like he hit at Yankee Stadium. Only this is 388. He hit it to 399 left center. This one off the wall, and it just happened to hit B.J. Upton enough, slowed the ball down, and Jennings was there backing up but could not get the ball in quickly enough. And the A's have taken the lead. David DeJesus really did not take off that much, but once he did take off, we thought maybe the ball would be caught. So the 2 runs for Howell, and the A's have the lead. Actually 3 runs.
Sizemore 0 for 2 with a sacrifice fly. Kochman into foul territory makes a nice running catch. As Jackson alertly tags up, and he'll get to third.
We're going to appeal.
Now batting, the catcher, number 8. Kurt Suzuki.
The third base umpire made the call. So the A's have scored 3 times here in the bottom of the 7th to take the lead. J.P. Howell ends up going 2/3 of an inning and gives up 3 earned runs.
Well, a great at bat by Matsui against the lefty, getting the solid base hit, and an even better one by Josh Willingham. Jesus with a big hit, and Connor Jackson.
1-0 to Kurt Suzuki. So the A's continue to score runs. The number since the break. Best batting average and best on-base percentage in the majors. How about that? Since the break.
And what's good about the offense tonight, 6 runs now after the 5 runs given up by the starter. Bullpen, it's up to them. As you said earlier, it would be a bullpen night. Melvin likes the offense he's seeing from his club, and is always intense on the bench, and got his game face on every inning, except when they do something special and he really gets excited.
2-1 the count. The Rays bullpen not being able to do the job tonight. Remember, it's a redone Rays bullpen as well. They lost some really good relievers in the offseason, all to free agency. He's got one of them in Balfour.
He's warming up right now. He's the 8th inning guy for the A's. And the thing about the A's and what we have seen, 8th and 9th, Balfour and Bailey has been spectacular since Bailey has returned from the disabled list. Ryan Fuentes, a tremendous job getting the strikeout with a runner at third, 1 out.
The Rays in the offseason lost, these are just relievers, folks. Joaquin Benoit, who was terrific for them last year. Dan Wheeler, Chad Qualls, Grant Balfour, Rafael Soriano, and Lance Cormier.
Just think how much it would have cost the Rays to keep all those guys. Soriano only got 30 himself. Balfour, 2-year contract with the A's. Qualls just gave up 3 home runs a couple of days ago in 1 inning, or back to back to back.
They were very good last year.
Yes, they were.
3-2 the count.
Remember, the A's are playing a team that has a better record on the road than they do at home. And that's unusual. Usually you play well at home, hope to play 500 on the road, but the Rays are a game under 500 at Tropicana Field. So if the A's can hang on and have a good series against a very good club, that would be even better, considering the record away from the Trop.
Pop up shallow center field. Upton races in to get it side retired, but the A's score 3 times. The biggest hit, Connor Jackson's 2-run double. And that would give the A's the lead. 8th inning coming up. A's 6, Rays 5.
On Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by Xfinity, home of the most live sports, and by Chevrolet. Go to ChevyBaseball.com to support youth baseball and help make a moment kids will never forget.
One of the best deals for baseball fans anywhere is Bart $2 Wednesdays every Wednesday this season, including day after tomorrow. You can get a Plaza Level, Plaza Outfield, or Plaza Reserve ticket for just $2. Take advantage of the special ticket offer all summer as the A's match up against the Angels, Rangers, and more, but only while supplies last. Get tickets for all of our $2 Wednesdays at the Coliseum box office by phone 877-493-BALL And for more information, go to or to order online, visit oaklandathletics.com. That's Kojak.
Kojak, yeah. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. So Grant Balfour comes in. So Balfour will face Kochman, Shopik, and Rodriguez.
Well, what do you think's going through Mr. Balfour's mind right now as he is pitching against a team that he had a lot of success with, the Tampa Bay Rays?
Yeah, he was good with the Rays. And he's been very good with the Athletics. Kochman takes a strike, 1-1. So Connor Jackson had the big hit, and we heard the highlight from Vin Cotroneo, and he called him Kojak. What do you think, Kojak?
Well, there's V. March and Victor Martinez and Carlos Gonzalez. So we got Kojak.
Kojak.
All right.
Not to be confused with the New York City detective from the 1970s, Kojak.
With the lollipop.
With the lollipop.
And the shaved head.
So Vin Cotroneo has coined him Kojak.
You know, we'll have to get Vinny some Tootsie Roll Pops. How's that? Tootsie Roll Pops would be good for him.
Or maybe we'll just call him Kojak.
Kojak, and he would be Kojak.
One and two to Kochman, who's got a hit tonight. He's 1 for 3. High fastball. 2-2 the count.
You got Kojak. You got the hammer too, Josh Willingham.
Yeah, that's a good nickname.
Wow.
Everybody thought that Chad Fairchild was going to call it. He did not.
Well, I don't know how he could not. I don't know what was wrong with the pitch, but it was evidently outside.
Popped up, playable for Matsui in left field. He's under it. 1 out. So Shopik will hit. Take that back. We're going to get a pinch hitter.
For Tampa Bay, ready for Shopik, number 5, Sam Fold.
So Sam Fold is going to hit.
Hideki Matsui, you'd think normally would be replaced, perhaps by Ryan Sweeney for defensive purposes, but he's scheduled about 4th in the bottom half of the inning. There might be a defensive change after that point, but Melvin keeping him in the game, and nothing wrong with that because he is playing great in left field. See, you could put Ichiro in right and Hideki in left, and it's pretty good outfield. There's Ryan Sweeney, who probably will be in this game before it's over.
Fold takes inside. So Shopik hit a long home run in the 6th inning. He also had a swinging bunt single in the 4th. But he's going to get pinch hit for here in the top of the 8th. Rays just looking for a base runner. Fold loops one to left toward the line, and Matsui's got that one. 2 outs.
You know, he plays like that. Why do you need a defensive replacement?
So with 2 outs, we're going to get another pinch hitter.
Grant Balfour with a good fastball, and nothing Fold could do except hit it to left field, so indicating that the fastball thrown by Balfour is where everybody expects it.
So this is Elliot Johnson, a switch hitter who's hitting for Sean Rodriguez. And there's the first pitch, fastball for a strike.
This entire game, the velocity has not been on the scoreboard, so hitters have not been able to see what the pitchers are doing.
Neither have announcers. We like to peek once in a while.
I think hitters probably enjoy it more. get an idea. They know going into the game the velocity of the pitcher, but I have to check on the board to see if it's accurate. At least what they've been told is accurate.
Fastball right there, 1-2 the count.
You don't have to know that that's 95.
Looks like
four-seamer right over the top at about 95.
Johnson takes that one low. Elliott Johnson is a middle infielder, so he will more than likely stay in the game for Sean Rodriguez, who he's pinch hitting for. Foul back. Desmond Jennings in the on-deck circle. Bailey. He'll be up soon. Strike three call right at the knees, and Johnson cannot pull the trigger. 3 up, 3 down inning for Balfour. 9th inning, bottom of the 8th inning coming up. 6-5 A's. Local Toyota dealers, A's were down 5-3, but they scored 3 in the bottom of the 7th inning. DeJesus with an RBI double, and then the big hit, Connor Jackson, 2-run double. That would make it a 6-5 game. DeJesus scoring the go-ahead run. That's our game summary brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. 5-10-0 for the Rays, 6-9-2 for the Athletics. So A's with 1 in the 6th, 3 in the 7th to take the lead. A new pitcher for the Rays, Cesar Ramos, the left-hander, comes in. And a few other changes we'll get to in a moment. The new shortstop is Elliott Johnson. He pinch hit. And that's Robinson Chirinos, who's catching. And Cliff Pennington is taken all the way. It's 3-0.
Left-hander's got a good arm with a good fastball. Lefties a lot of times do not throw hard. At least some don't. Most of them with a good two-seam fastball. Has the movement, but this guy throws in the low 90s.
4-pitch walk to Pennington. 6 walks issued by Rays pitchers tonight.
Now batting, second baseman, number 19, Jemile Weeks.
So here's the top of the order in Jemile Weeks as Bailey starts to loosen up down in the A's bullpen down the third baseline. Jemile Weeks 0 for 4 in the game. So the average down to 309. He came into tonight's game hitting .316. Royals and the Red Sox still playing 1-1, and it is now the top of the 13th inning at Fenway. Breaking ball is low. In fact, the Rays only have 6 relievers. Most teams have 7.
Some have 8.
Some have 8. Yeah, the Rays 6 is about as low as you're going to go. 3 lefties, 3 righties, and Ramos is the 4th reliever used.
And if you think about it, they have 6 starters.
They do.
Because Cobb,
Yep.
Ty Cobb is starting for them. So they have the 12 pitchers, but you're right. And a lot of times in the case tonight, though, Hellickson only going 5+, so Joe Madden having to use, this is his 4th reliever. It's Kyle Farnsworth, the big closer, did a good job for the Rays.
Weeks pops it up on the infield. It'll be the shortstop Johnson getting some action. Well, join us tomorrow. The A's will continue this 4-game set against the Rays. Brandon McCarthy and David Price. Price, the All-Star. 6:30, it's A's pregame live, and then our coverage from the ballpark starts at 7. And complete A's coverage every night on Sportsnet Central and CSNCalifornia.com. The home of the A's is Comcast Sportsnet California. So David Price, he's a good one, folks. So the next 2 games will be a stiff challenge for the Athletics as they'll face Price tomorrow, and then on Wednesday James Shields. So both those guys all-stars.
It'll be a big game Wednesday. Big game every day for the A's. Trying to just play good solid baseball, which they have been doing. It'd be nice to start this homestand on a positive note. Because next week, starting Monday, it's going to be another tough road trip. The month of August, we'll see the A's on the road quite a bit.
Coco drives one left center. That's hit pretty well. Jennings on the move near the wall, and he dropped it. And here comes Pennington. They're waving him home. The throw to the plate. Not in time. Pennington scores, and the A's get an insurance run.
Well, this time the walk scores as well as last inning. So the A's taking advantage of a couple of walks. One last inning by J.P. Howell with Willingham, and this walk by Pennington and a ball off the glove of Jennings. That ball with his speed, he was able to get to it, and it would tell you probably should have been caught. Cliff Pennington read it perfectly, and it's being sent and around the catcher to slide and touch home plate. That's a big run.
Here's Matsui. So for the 4th consecutive game, the A's have double-digit hits. The total number of hits 48 in the last 4 games, so that's a lot. Seeing more extra base hits as well. That's always a big part of it. Tonight, 3 doubles and a home run. Kochman has it. He'll take it himself. So that is out number 2, and Crisp goes to third. Well, Sportsnet Central is coming up tonight. It's brought to you by Hyundai, and it's at 10:30. And it's over on our sister station, Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. And the highlights from our game here. NFL is back to work. The lockout is officially over. Jamie Sire went with the Giants to the White House today. David Andrews, Scott Reese will host. So 2 outs, a runner on third for Willingham. And they're going to walk Willingham and face the left-handed hitting DeJesus. So Willingham will take his 3rd walk in the game. Wade Davis down in the bullpen. Davis a starting pitcher, so he may just be throwing a little bit.
Right fielder, number 12, David DeJesus.
So DeJesus will hit. He's already got a couple of hits tonight. He's had a good night, 2 for 4. Single, a double, an RBI, and 2 runs scored for DeJesus. Breaking ball is low from Cesar Ramos. Remember last year the Rays, last couple of years, Jason Bartlett was their shortstop, and a very good shortstop. They traded Bartlett to the San Diego Padres in the offseason. 4 players back. One of them was the left-hander Ramos.
We talked about the pitching and the changes, especially out of the bullpen.
In the hole, Johnson, long throw across, and they get David DeJesus. Now the A's get a run on Chris double, so we're headed to the ninth. 7-5 Athletics. So the A's with a nice comeback tonight. And now they're trying to wrap up a win. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune Up, your oil change, tune up, and smog experts. Andrew Bailey comes in, and he's facing the top of the Rays order. First pitch strike to Desmond Jennings. He'll be followed by Johnny Damon, Ben Zobrist. If anybody were to get aboard, Evan Longoria would hit. Ryan Sweeney takes over in left field for Matsui. And it's quickly 0-2.
That's what Bailey likes to do, is just comes in, gets ready quickly, and usually the hitter is the one that's trying to slow him down.
And on 3 pitches, Jennings strikes out. Looked at 2 fastballs, swung at a ball way out of the strike zone, and that is out, number 1.
Well, this is a great definition, right? Of a chase, tries to get him a chase or pitch out of the strike zone, and you're right, after 2 good fastballs, he chased a slider way off the zone.
So here's Johnny Damon. His first pitch in for a strike, down around the knees. Damon is 1 for 4. He doubled and scored in the 5th inning. Pennington playing right behind the bag, and Damon is retired. Bailey had to get himself out of the way. So 2 outs here in the 9th.
Had him played perfectly. A little skip rope by Andrew Bailey to get out of the way, and Cliff Pennington right there. What a night Cliff Pennington has had. The big 2-run home run, but defense has been spectacular. Starting right at the beginning of the game. 2nd inning, ball off of Sizemore to Pennington.
So here's Zobrist, and he takes up and away. Zobrist has had a good night. Homer, a walk, and a double. Right now, he's just trying to figure out any way to get on base. Bailey just trying to end it right here. It's low, 2-1. And this is a big hitter with Longoria. A serious home run threat in the on-deck circle. A guy you just as soon not face. There's a shot down the right field line, and that's headed for the corner. And Zobrist is going to have another double. He has been a doubles machine here in 2011.
When you look at his hits tonight, they've been pretty much on fastball, starting with a home run off Moscoso. And this fastball a little bit up, and got the fastball count 2-1. He got the fastball he's looking for, and he is not getting cheated when he gets the fastball.
33 doubles for Zobrist, 2 tonight. So here is Longoria, and he takes a fastball outside corner for a strike. Breaking pitch, and Longoria lays on. Longoria has walked 3 times in the game.
Well, he's so strong. He starts his swing and recognizes his slider, which the second pitch was, and he's not swinging a lot of bad pitches.
Lays off that, 2-1. Matt Joyce is the on-deck hitter. Outfield, very deep. Fastball is high, and now it's 3-1. So be careful here. Fastball, and Longoria had a good rip. So it's a full count.
We're back in the 5th inning, 3-0. A couple of good fastballs from Moscoso. Swung on 3-0, then 3-1. Fouled him back, ended up walking. Andrew Bailey had the good cutter he had in the last couple of years. This would be a perfect time to throw it. His cutter has become more of a slider, and is witnessed by Jennings. Leadoff hitter has swung at a pitch out of the strike zone.
Three-two pitch is outside. He walked it. Pretty good at bat by Longoria.
That was the cutter. Just did not catch the plate. Time now for the Fremont Bank play of the game. Connor Jackson got a hanging breaking ball from Peralta. And there it goes. Into left center. Nobody could get it. It kind of cleared him off the center fielder, and that gave enough time for David DeJesus to score from first base, following Josh Willingham. Jackson this time hitting a ball to left center, unlike Yankee Stadium, and this one landed.
Swing and a miss. Fastball down, and Joyce chased it. So 1-1 the count. Bailey got the first 2 outs. Jennings strikeout, Damon ground out, but then the double by Zobrist, the walk to Longoria. Breaking ball is down and in, 2-1.
6 pitches get the first 2 batters, and can't make it easy.
Popped up, and it's going to be out of play. So 2-2 the count. Not sure Joyce has swung at a strike in this at bat. That pitch was a little high. So the crowd to its feet. Bailey 1 out away from getting the A's their 45th win of the year. Another high fastball, and Joyce fouls it back.
You like to think as aggressive as he is, swinging at pitches out of the strike zone, he'd jump or try to swing at a Andrew Bailey curveball. It's just a question whether Andrew would throw it 2-2, knowing if he missed, he'd have to come back with the fastball. B.J. Upton is the next hitter.
That one rolled foul.
About Andrew Bailey, as quickly as he works, he does not give a hitter a lot of time to think. Going to have to think a little bit. Kurt Suzuki is going to visit with him.
So the meeting is over. Again, Zobrist at second. Longoria, he's the tying run. He's at first. 2-2 pitch. Popped up again and out of play. Well, Bailey keeps pumping those high fastballs in there, and Joyce keeps fouling them back.
He's not gone inside yet. Everything's been outside. which is a pretty good idea. You don't want to take a chance and go inside, have a hitter react on a fastball there.
And he went around, and that's the ball game. Rays strand a pair in the 9th inning, and the A's with a comeback win tonight. They score 3 in the 7th, add an insurance run in the 8th, and they win game 1 of this 4-game series. 7-5 is your final as Bailey saves it. Nice job by the bullpen tonight.
Oh, kept pumping the fastballs, and a check swing by Joyce. He went too far, and Chad Fairchild said enough's enough. He went too far. He's making the call, and it's strike 3, and Andrew Bailey with the save and a big save.
So the A's win it 7-5 is your final over the Rays. Don't go away. A's postgame live with Jim Cosmore and Fernando Vina starts right now.